So, hello everyone, welcome back. Irene CBiz Media, Faith, Love, and Trends. We are talking relationship goals featured on the Prime streaming network. And Devon Franklin is the mind behind this project, as well as Michael Todd, the famous YouTube pastor. His book, Relationship Goals, is the theme of this film. We have some pretty big names here. Kelly Rowland, as well as our friend Method Man, who we really kind of got to see his acting chops in the franchise Power. And women are really saying, Method Man, he kind of fine. So they're really seeing that more now as he's older and he's more into this acting thing that he's been doing for a minute. There was a scene, a shirtless scene. There was a scene with only boxers on, and he looks like he's been working out. I'll say that. This being a film that has kind of a faith-based connection, there may have been some things that weren't so churchy in this film. And for me, there was a cheese factor, and Kelly even mentioned it in the film, as saying basically the plot of this is Method Man's character and Kelly Rowland's character. They work at a TV station, I guess, as producers, and they have a history. But in the beginning, we see Kelly. She is Miss Boss Lady. I love her and her relationship with her assistant. They have this little jerk that they do, this little winning power move that they do. They're in sync with each other. It's a lot of fun. But after a few minutes in, the boss lady situation is now redirected to Method Man's character. He walks into the room, this dreamy, handsome executive that now can possibly take her new possible position as the person that's running her department is stepping down. So she's up for the role, but he walks in the door and it's like, he could possibly take this role. They have history. She doesn't like the way he played and cheated on her in the past. And they, she's focused on her career goals at this time. And she's like kind of giving up on love, and he's kind of part of the reason. We also have a couple of her friends. They're also in different love situations, and this book, Relationship Goals, kind of helps them. So it's giving me hard, like, Think Like a Man vibes, as we know that book that Steve Harvey did. The book was connected to the movie, but it was loosely connected to the movie. I don't remember it being such a huge theme. So the fact that Mike Todd's book was such a huge theme in this film was a bit of a turnoff for me. I feel like he should have taken a little bit more of a back seat, but I feel like it was just a big promotional prop for his book and for his platform generally. And I'm sure the book is very, I haven't read it, but I'm sure it's very successful. But the way that everything was formed around this book, it kind of gave me a disconnect. The film appears to have done well on Prime. A lot of films that come out that weekend on these different platforms, they usually will get the number 1, number 2 spot. So that doesn't really surprise me. As well as Kelly and Method Man being in the film, that's a big draw. But it just didn't have all the things for me. It almost was trying to be something that everyone could connect to, but then it seemed like at the end it was all more trying to connect to the faith-based audience, and it was a little bit more middle of the road, but not. I want something a little less obvious. I am a person of faith, and I enjoy faith-based films. I don't feel like you have to always come out the gate in a way that is super Christian, but I enjoy those type of films as well. It's all in the way that it's executed. So for me, the execution of this could have been a bit better. It is on a streaming platform, so I don't expect it to be a blockbuster hit. The things that I did like about it, and probably will be some spoilers here, guys, is that, we're dealing with imperfect and flawed people. It's giving us rom-com. It's kind of giving us obvious basic rom-com. And there was no, like, to me, any super deep drama elements. Kelly's character lost her mother, and that also was an issue for her as well. And when we get into the story, her mother's already passed, and it's something that she has not dealt with yet. By the end of this, she deals with it. But it's mostly giving me rom-com. The two are singing R&B songs together in the car. At first, she's sick of him doing that. He was doing it by himself. He's kind of a goofy guy that happens to be kind of hot and goofy. And, he just realized that, hey, I need to change my lifestyle. And this book kind of helped him do that. So he's like a major testimonial for this book. And as the movie ends, her friend, who was having a rocky relationship with her long-term boyfriend, ends up getting married. And the book is also a helpful catalyst in that as well, of changing the ladies' mindsets of how they date. By the end, Method Man and Kelly's character, which are Leah and Jared, they seem to be in a good place. They're starting this long-term relationship. Instead of him running after her, which is what happens in a lot of these rom-coms, is that, one person has to go out of town or something has to happen, this big job, and they have to leave, but none of them have confessed their love. So now somebody has to go profess their love. And his character kind of did that in a lot of ways, but she kind of pulled back from the scenario. She did have a night with him that she regretted, something that you don't usually see on a full faith-based film. But a lot of these films now are being more realistic and more practical, that people, may not all the way be there as a Christian and may have work to do. So that element I could get. I like that, and I do feel like that could draw people that aren't Christian. But after that scenario, she didn't know if she wanted to be with him, and then she had this aha moment when he was about to leave for another job. He stepped down and allowed her to get the job that she always wanted, and she was a little upset because she wanted to kind of win this job because she thought she was the better candidate. But he stepped back, and he kind of allowed her to come to him, and she stopped the plane, so to speak. And they rekindled their long time ago relationship, in which he was the fail there. And by the end, her friend was married. She was happy with Jared, Method Man's character, and her other friend also had a prospective relationship coming through as well. So all in all, it was a good, happy ending. It was a decent watch, but I was not loving this. I'm not going to rate it, but, it wasn't the greatest film to me, and it needed a little more work. That's all I have to say at the end of the day. I love these two actors. Kelly has disappointed me with her last Tyler Perry event that she did. I was really disappointed by that film. But Method Man has not really disappointed me much. I'm happy that he took a role. To me, I feel that was quite different for him. And, I'm open to see what he does next. And I'm open even to see what Kelly does next. I'm happy that they've done this faith-based connected film. And, I would like to see more films like this, but I do feel like this one needs a tweak. All right, guys, what are your thoughts and comments on this film Relationship Goals? Hey guys, it's Irene, CBiz Media, Faith, Love, and Trends. And I want to talk a bit about the movie Be Happy. one of the latest of Mary J. Blige's work on Lifetime. And I think she's done some decent movies in the past. Some of them were a little less engaging for me, but this one turned out to be pretty good. At first, I thought it was going to be pretty much one note, but it really got a little bit of a deeper depth, and I enjoyed the watch. There may be some spoilers ahead. But the basic plot, we have Tisha Campbell, Mekhi Phifer, Russell Hornsby. Love to Russell. He does have a familiar face. I know I've seen him in a few decent projects. But Mekhi Phifer from Soul Food, he stands out from that film. And also Tisha Campbell, of course, we know her from Martin fame, Little Shop of Horrors. She's done a number of sitcoms that were successful. We know Tisha Campbell. So basically, Tisha's character is a housewife. She's about to be an empty nester. Russell Hornsby plays her husband, and he's just not showing her the love that they once had back in the day when they first started as an early couple. After the nest empties, she feels like there's really nothing there for her. Russell's just not showing her the love. Her daughter happens to be having a baby, so she's like, I need to get away, and, I'm not happy here, so I'm going to go visit my daughter, I believe in New Orleans. Her baby's coming soon. I just need to get away from this situation. I'm not feeling it. So there, she rediscovers her educational roots and her love for art, which she was already looking at art and travel things as she was still there in her town. But it even enhances as she gets to New Orleans. She stops into an art gallery, and the gallery owner needs help. He's just really trying to carry on his mother's legacy. And he sees her knowledge of art, her descriptiveness of these different portraits and these different artists. So he brings her on to be a principal person, or what they call a curator, at his gallery. So now she has an instant job. There she meets an artist, a photographer. He becomes her muse. And she actually has an affair with this guy. Her husband then turns around and he starts to express that he wants to be back with her. He actually, after the baby's born, that brings the whole family to the town. So he's back. He's there with the daughter and now the wife. And he expresses his love for her, how he wishes things were again. And she tells him basically, I don't really want to instruct you how to love me. You have to kind of find your way, figure it out. And so I guess he figures it out, and they're back together happily ever after. A great ending to the story. I do feel like something was left out. I think Tisha did a wonderful job. She really pulled this story together. Her acting chops, as well as Mekhi, they were all good. It's definitely a coming of age story, a second act. I think women can relate to this in this age group. And even if you aren't married, if you've been in a long-term relationship, you can relate to this as well. Just feeling like the fire is gone, the fire is lost, and something had to be rekindled. But we never addressed her stepping out of her marriage, which I think she felt some sort of guilt about that, especially when her daughter found out. But she never came clean to her husband, and I think that shouldn't have been left out of the film. Her friends even say, men do this all the time, so you shouldn't feel bad about what you're doing. I don't agree with that moral stance. I do feel like the character who played her husband did realize he was losing her. She changed her look, her vibe. She was really coming back into her own self, who she was, not just a housewife and a mother. And I think he was also attracted to the fact that he could really see her again. I feel like he was sensing something, but I think that they should have had a bit of a conversation about this and not really just jump back into their love story. But I have to say that I love when a marriage stays together, so I'm glad that it ended that way. We find out Makai's character, like many artists, is a playboy. She was really his muse. He acted as if he was definitely going to continue to ride with her. I don't know if he was deeply in love with her, but he was still into her and offered to take her to travel. And she ended up traveling with her husband, which was also one of her other dreams. But the scene with her and Makai, when she actually called Makai's character out, and she actually was seeing that, he wasn't her husband, basically. He was just this guy that was playing with her for the moment or enjoying her for the moment, just as she was doing, but she was taking it to a deeper level. I wonder what you guys think. Did he really owe her, what is it, his full commitment at that time and that point? I kind of think that he didn't. I feel like she kind of knew what she was getting into, but she kind of just wanted to feel beautiful again and loved again. So she kind of walked into something that she probably really knew was not going to be lasting. But like I said, this is a coming-of-age story, second act, letting ladies know, yes, you still have it, even if you're a certain age. That there's this amazing part of you that you don't have to lose. And you can lose that part of you in just getting older. You can lose that part of you where you may feel unseen. You can definitely lose that part of you becoming a mother, becoming a wife, becoming these different roles, and you lose part of yourself. So it was a very relatable story, very engaging. It was a good watch, not overcomplicated. Be Happy is probably one of my favorites of the Mary J. Blige collection so far. What did you guys think? Thoughts, comments, questions? Email me at cbiztv@yahoo.com. This is Irene. We talk more faith, love, and trends coming soon. All the best. God bless. Also want to remind you to check us out on our other platforms at cbiztvmedia.com.